Hello, and welcome to episode 76 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. My channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'll be reviewing a favorite of mine, Robotron. Robotron, which is also known as Robotron 2084, was released in 1982 by Williams. My first time playing this game was at Western Trails Mini Golf and Arcade in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Robotron is a third-party shooter game in which you control your character with two 8-way joysticks, one to move and one to fire. You find yourself in the year 2084 where robots have become sentient and have concluded that humans are inferior and must be destroyed. You are the last hope for saving the human race. There are three types of humans you must save: the mommy, the daddy, and the son Mikey. Due to an engineering error, you possess superhuman powers. Your powers give you the ability to be able to shoot in 8 different directions independent of whichever way you move. You need to fight wave upon wave of enemy robots. You also need to avoid the deadly electrodes which will explode if you run into them and cost you a life. You can shoot and destroy these electrodes, although there is no score for doing so. For the first level, the only enemy you will face will be the grunts. Grunts are red-colored robots whose only objective is to run you down and destroy you. This level will have 15 grunts in all. The grunts are the easiest enemies you will face because they are basically stupid and have no offensive weapons. Grunts will home in on you and take the shortest path to reach you. Because they are stupid, the grunts will home in on you and they will occasionally run into the electrodes, destroying themselves. You will earn 100 points for every grunt destroyed, whether you shoot it or they destroy themselves. The grunts are harmless to the humans and they will pass safely through them. In addition to the grunts, the humans will also be wandering around the playfield. You need to save these humans from the enemy robots. You need to just run into the humans to save them and you will be awarded bonus points. You will earn 1,000 points for collecting the first human, and the score will increase 1,000 points for every extra human until you collect 5, and then you'll earn 5,000 points for each human thereafter. The scoring will return to 1,000 points at the beginning of each level or after losing a life. The next level, you will face 2 new enemies. The first of the new enemies you will face will be the indestructible Hulk robots. These enemies are green and cannot be destroyed. These enemies will randomly walk around the playfield and they will destroy humans if they come in contact with them. Shooting them will force them back slightly, so you can use this to your advantage to keep them away from the humans. Since these enemies are invulnerable, the levels will end with these enemies still on the playfield. The second enemy you will face is a combination enemy. This enemy will begin as a spheroid, which is a circular enemy that changes between 3 different sizes. If you don't shoot these enemies in a timely manner, they will spawn 3 enforcer robots before disappearing. These enforcers will fire guided missiles at you. If you lose a life while there are enforcers on the screen, they will return to spheroid form. You will earn 1,000 points for shooting each spheroid, 150 points for each enforcer, and 25 points for each guided missile. Levels 3 and 4 will have the same enemies as level 2, just a larger amount, as well as more electrodes. Level 5 and every 5th level thereafter will have the most powerful enemy of all, the Brain Robotrons. These and all other enemies will materialize differently on this wave and all other brain waves. These rounds will have a large number of humans for you to save, although there is a catch. The brains will seek out the humans and will electrocute them and turn them into enemy progs. Once they are progs, they will randomly move around the playfield and must be avoided or destroyed, because contacting one will cause you to lose a life. If you lose a life, any progs that were left on the playfield will disappear. You do not need to destroy all the progs to advance to the next level. The brains will also fire guided missiles at you which need to be avoided or be shot at the front end of the missile because shooting it anywhere else will not affect it. You will earn 500 points for shooting each brain, 100 points for shooting each prog, and 25 points for shooting each missile. There is a way to take a break on brain waves. If you move to the right wall and fire upward, the brain will follow, although once it makes it to the right, it will walk in place. Occasionally it will fire a missile, but your continual upward shots will destroy it before it does you any harm. Level 6 will have the same enemies as level 4, although more of them, but level 7 will have another combination enemy. In addition to the Hulks and humans, there will be 10 quirks that will spawn tank robots. Each quirk will eventually spawn 4 tanks. There is a limit of 20 tanks on screen at a time. The tanks will follow you around the playfield in an attempt to crush your character. These tanks will also fire bounce bombs. These bombs will be fired at an angle and they will bounce off the walls in an opposite angle like billiard balls. You are able to shoot these bombs for points, although if you ignore the bombs, they will disappear after a few bounces. There is a trick or glitch that will cause the tanks to stop firing at you. This glitch is similar to the Galaga no-shoot glitch. The tanks are allowed to have 20 shots on screen at a time. Once they fire a bomb, the counter will add 1 to the counter, and when you shoot a bomb, the counter will subtract 1 from the counter. The glitch happens if the bomb disappears, the counter will not subtract anything, so if 20 bombs disappear, the tanks will no longer shoot at you for the rest of the wave. The counter will reset at the beginning of each tank wave or every new life. Other than Wave 2, waves ending in a 2 or 7 will be tank waves. You will earn 1,000 points for each quark, 200 points for each tank, and 25 points for each bounce bomb destroyed. Level 8 will play like Level 6, although harder and more enemies, and Level 9 will be a grunt wave. This level, just like described, there will be many grunts, although there are no electrodes or borders. Even though there are no borders displayed on the screen, you are limited to the movement on the screen and you cannot warp around to the other side. Level 10 will be another brainwave. Just like the previous brainwave, there will be a large number of brain robots as well as many humans. This level will have the largest electrodes that have 2084 on them. Brainwaves will rotate the different type of humans. The first brainwave will be the mommy wave. This wave will have many mommy humans walking around with one Mikey. The second brainwave will have all daddy humans. Third brainwave will have all Mikey humans, and the fourth will have all 3 humans combined. After the fourth brainwave, the pattern will repeat. There is also a trick on the mommy brainwaves. If you protect Mikey and don't collect him, the brains will only seek out Mikey and ignore the mommies. If Mikey is destroyed or collected, the brains will seek out whichever human is closest. Every other brainwave has a single human which is seeked out first, but since all the humans are the same, it is impossible to determine which human is the one that the brains will seek out. As the waves get higher, there will be more and more enemies at the start of each wave. Other than the brains, all enemies will eventually appear on all waves including quarks and tanks. If you are able to clear level 255, the level counter will roll back over to level 1, which will be the same difficulty as when the game began. The rollover is similar to the Pac-Man and Dig Dug 255 glitch, although in this game, if the counter rolls over to 0, it will automatically change to level 1 and the game will start over, although your score will remain the same. A few trivial items about this game include the fact that this was inspired by Orwell's 1984, although the year 1984 was very near the release date, so the game was based in 2084. This game was one of the first games that saved high scores and had an option for the highest scorer of all time to enter up to 20 symbols in addition to their initials. This game will save the 37 highest scores since the game was reset by the manager. This game also allowed the manager to advertise during the attract mode, which was something very new at the time. This game also offered multiple buy-in sounds that changed every time you dropped in a coin. Also in early releases, there was a programming glitch that named the quarks cuboids. The game was also inspired by Berserk, but the dual joystick controls were created because in Berserk, you can only fire in the direction that you were facing. I really enjoy playing this game and highly recommend playing it, especially if you can find it in an arcade setting because the controls don't emulate as well as other games, but it still plays good on emulation, so if you have MAME or another emulator, give it a go. I like this game more than Phoenix, but not as much as Dig Dug, so Robotron warps its way into the 25th position overall. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Wednesday and Sunday.